All right, so got a question for you on this. Some people don't want to go to the doctor because they're scared of the result. Do you think we live in a culture that believes that way?
Yes, I believe so as well. I believe that too. I believe we live in that culture just because I was part of that as well for a while. Like, you know what I mean? So I believe that. I believe that we should just go to see, because you don't know until you see, right? So go get looked at, go get checked out.
Yeah. So do you think we treat God like that? Like we don't want to...
Yes, I believe that's true. I believe a lot of people don't reach out because they don't know. I feel like that's our job, like you're doing now, to pull people in, to show them.
Yeah, so do you think there's a fear factor in that? Like,
of course. I was like that too until I reached out and it's time.
That's right.
What it was. So
that's right.
It's all fear. I think it's more of like people just don't know, or they feel like they have a fear of not knowing enough.
And sometimes I think they're scared to know that they might have to change.
That too. That's huge. That's huge.
All right, so the first question is, why do you think people run away from the topic of God and government?
Well, for me, it was hard to understand God and to understand religion. So even when I was young and still a youth living with my family, I couldn't relate with their beliefs. When I left, I decided to study all religion. And after 2 years, I got ordained. It's scary to think something has power over you. So I think that's the hardest thing for people to grasp.
Oh, it's scary to think that something has power over you. You think we try to be our own boss in life?
Yes.
What happens when we fail?
You get stuck, and it's very, very hard to get out of it.
The next question is, do you think it's a good idea to run from those topics of God and government?
No. Yes and no. I think it's something that if we talk about it more and normalize it more, we could have better understandings. I mean, I think we've gotten to a point where if you don't think like me, I don't want to talk to you and discuss the whys and the hows and what ifs. And also, too, people, I think, are so programmed. Like, my parents were this way, so this is the way I think. And they're afraid to go against what their parents say and what their parents think as well. And so they don't want to rock the boat. And that's why you have so many people who are closeted about when they switch spirituality, when they switch their beliefs in political issues. They're afraid of how everybody else is going to perceive them until they find like-minded people. But you can't find like-minded people if you don't talk about it. So,
Do you think people are scared of diversity?
Absolutely. There's a culture that is created to fit in as much as possible.
First question, do you think God and government should be separate?
I think it's impossible for them to be separate.
Why is that?
How can you have a political stance or expect to have faith in government if you don't have faith in God?
Okay. Do you think that some of the founding fathers were devout Christians?
I sure hope so.
You know, there's a quote by Abraham Lincoln, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase it a little bit, but he says somewhere along the lines that he says, my concern is not that God is on our side, but that we're on his side, because to be on God's side is to know that he is always right. What do you think about that?
That's deep.
It's pretty deep, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard that quote, or maybe I've heard it and I just didn't know that it was attributed to Lincoln.
Yeah.
To know that he is on our side. I think those are some profound words that maybe should be repeated more often.
Yeah. I think in a way he's trying to say, hey, don't forget about the big man. Don't forget about your creator.
I think that there's some people in power that need to remember that there's something bigger than all of us out there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree with that. I like that. Yeah, sometimes we think we're in control when we get behind the steering wheel, that we control everybody on the road, but we only control what we're driving. Yeah, so I think we got to be careful how we stay in our lane. We got to be focused in our lane and just remember God as we live life. I like that.